Welcome back one last time to the coverage of YCS Prague for today.
For today.
I should add that.
No, not in general.
Yes, and there is going to be more action tomorrow, but for today, it's the last round. It's round 7. We're only going to play 7 rounds today. And what a day it's been.
Yeah.
Going into Prague, we've had 608 players showing up, playing a variety of different decks.
Yeah.
Although at the top of the field, we saw a couple of decks more often than others, which is not that surprising. However, the picture that some people tried to paint is not as black as you thought, or blue, I should say. We only got 186 Necros players in the field.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have 50% of the field or even more. It's a lot lower than that.
Which is what you usually see when a new architect comes in that's so powerful.
Yes. And also we got more numbers. We're going to have those in the written coverage, of course. So if you want to look them up at a later point in time, just check out the written coverage. We got all the statistics there, all the standings of your friends. So if you want to know how they are doing, that's the place to go. In second place, you got Clifford with 137 players. Not that surprising.
They got a lot of nice support.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then we got a couple of decks that all put up some good numbers. For example, the Tellarknights with 56 and Burning Abyss with 48. And then in close pursuit somewhat is Yosenju, 29 decks, Shadow, 26 decks. So we got a diverse field, I would say. At the top of the field, we got a couple of veterans. Jake Quincy going strong once again. Like, you must be proud of your country, man.
Yeah, Jake's a great player. He gets to the top 32.
Yeah. oh, you're trying to say something there.
He's gonna win it this time around.
Okay.
He's gonna bring it home.
He's got undefeated playing on table 2 and in close pursuit on table 3. Well, same points as Alpay Engin and Piranaski, who we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Other named players is Marcello Barberi, the beast from Italy, and another player that might not be as famous yet, but Sepp Dang is playing on table 7. He's running Shadow. This would be a possible feature match. However, we decided to go with a different match because these two guys need to win to make day 2. And what a match it is going to be. So let's take it to the table where we're going to have Michal Pazera from Poland on the right-hand side and Valens Leteutre, and I butchered that name, I think, from France, who is running Burning Abyss.
So really, really nice to see one of the newer decks and one of the older decks clashing up against each other. What we've got with Michal, I believe that's
It's Michal.
Michal. Okay. Now, he is playing the version of Yosenju that we saw earlier, the more anti-meta version of the deck. Now, we can see that Valens has opened with a very normal play.
Yes, a tour guide. Yeah, into a graph. Malebranche of the Burning Abyss, that's the one with the claws.
And then 3 from the top of the deck. Ooh, and there is the perfect hit. He's got a Scam effect, a Seer effect, and a graph effect all happening at the same time.
Wow, that is an explosive start. He's got Upstart Goblin in his hand, so he can further thin out or work through his deck after he's resolved all these effects. Vanity's Emptiness, excellent to stop his opponent, although it's not going to do much against the Yosenju deck.
No, because Yosenju don't actually special summon at all.
Yeah, so to speak, a dead card in this particular matchup. And the Mind Crush is also not that good against Yosenju, unless a Fire Formation Tenki is going to be activated.
Yeah, there are still some search cards. I mean, Yosenju Kama 3 also searches as well.
Pot of Duality, of course. So Mind Crush is not going to be that useless, so to speak. So there's the first Dante, the Traveler of the Burning Abyss. And second is going to join him. No, it's not.
A Mech-equipped Engineer. Basically, I believe you can also target something that's already in defense position and change it to defense position again. So really protecting his guys there. Although I believe that he's probably thinking he's against...
Is that
probably a Necros. He doesn't actually know what he's against yet.
Do you approve the play of going for the mech-equipped Engineer instead of going for a second Dante?
Now, it's a weird play. One that a long time ago I would have said is not a great play.
Also, I stand corrected. It needs to be a face-up attack position monster.
It does have to be attack position, does it? Right. So he's basically setting himself up with something that's going to be invincible. And then he has got his tour guide.
Yeah, searching that for the Scarm during the end phase. All right, so it's now going to be, let's bring that mech-equipped Engineer on there for you guys, in case you're not familiar with the card. And there is the Fire Formation Tenki that I mentioned earlier. So the card that, when it came out, was a big deal for the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist that we haven't seen in a while.
No, no, we haven't. There are people playing it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we do have the meta game breakdown, but most of the time,
It usually is put in with that big other category.
yes, 48 players went with something that isn't one of the, so to speak, big decks. But we got a couple of like Evil Swarm, Noble Knight, Young Sing, so there got to be some interesting decks this weekend.
Okay, so Yosenju Kama 2? No, that's Yosenju Kama 1. That has just been mind crushed into the graveyard there. So Pot of Duality has just added some cards there. We didn't quite see what they were on screen.
Yeah, our camera is focusing a little bit more on the field than before to make it easier for you and, well, of course, for us to identify the cards on the field when we can't rely on the app for whatever reason.
Mind Crush is actually not... Oh, sorry, that's in his hand. So that's Michal.
Yeah, there we go. 5 back row cards, no monster, despite the Fire Formation Tenki. Well, thanks to the Mind Crush.
Yeah. Now, that is a Macrocosmos, a Mind Crusher, Threatening Roar, and a Vanity Temptress. No attack is getting through there. Whatever's going to get sent to hand is gone. Unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to activate the Mind Crush before he played the Tour Guide, but not an issue, because Vanity Temptress is going to stop that. Phoenix Wind Blast.
That's
in chain.
Pretty good.
And it's also dropping a Seer straight into the graveyard.
Especially with that discard. So Michal is going to be, well, back to square one for him, really.
Yeah.
He's going to have one draw that's not going to help him much, because when your opponent already has all the pieces together, and this is the case here, Vanity's Emptiness is not the card you want to draw into.
Yeah. Now he's special summoned Skarm with the Seer effect, and which is destroyed immediately because of Metcrypt Engineer and because of Dante. Not Dante, sorry, because of the Tour Guide. Now, really thinking about what he's going to be doing here. And he's overlaying. Now, Dante would be things that somebody would probably say, yes, go for, but in this case, I agree with Alucard.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice choice, and good to see that he's really flexible with his plays. And no hits here for that Dante effect. And there's a Mathematician in the graveyard, a card that is not questionable in the Burning Abyss deck.
Okay, now he has stopped the attacks going through. He's attacked, but they haven't been stopped by that Threatening Roar there.
Yeah, so Michal is not responding. He's probably going to save that Threatening Roar for another turn. But now, it doesn't get hit by the Alucard. He activates the Macrocosmos in response. So we know that Michal is going to draw into Vanity's Emptiness.
Yep.
And with a Threatening Roar, he can buy himself another turn, which is probably good news. But other than that, very little offense here. It's only the Snatch Steal, and I don't think it can get him out of that situation, really.
And not really, no.
And
I mean, he can take the Dante just to get rid of it and banish it, but that's... Oh, wait, no, there's the Downed Magician. Now, Engineer is not going to be able to help keep a hold of that Alucard.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if he uses the Snatch Steal, turning the monster in response to face-up defense position with the Engineer is a pretty strong play.
Yeah.
Because then there's not going to be an attack incoming against Valens. And I think this is really bad news for Michal.
Yeah, Mind Crush has just taken out what looks like either a Calcab or a Farfa.
Yeah, well, the Surged Malebranche immediately going to the, well, banished zone, really, thanks to Macrocosmos. And that was the end of the turn for Valens. And now it's up to Michal, who will draw into his Vanity's Emptiness. So those are the two cards in his hand. And I think he's going to activate the Snatch Steal because he really doesn't have anything else to do. Oh, well, maybe he's just going to rely on the Threatening Roar.
No, I think he's going to... Oh, Snatch Steal is taking...
The Downed Magician and no Mech-equipped Engineer. Well, you can still use the Engineer when he attacks with the Downward Magician?
Well, it depends. The Downward Magician actually has piercing damage.
Yeah.
So it's going to take out the Alucard, which is going to be banished. And he's going to take some damage there. Now, when it actually attacks, it also detaches its material, which means that Dante is also going to get banished.
Yeah. That is good news for Michal. What I don't get is why not activate the mech-equipped engineer in response and switch that Downward Magician to a face-up defense position.
I believe that you then just be able to switch it back to attack position because it's not changed its battle position that turn.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought the effect also says it cannot change position until the end of the turn, but no, it doesn't.
It's kind of ridiculous. You can stop something. You can basically get something under a lot of cards.
Yeah, so of course a good play, I guess, by Michal, by Valens, because it wouldn't have helped him at all.
Now he's made a very smart play by just putting a Downward Magician on top of that. There, his Downward Magician will be much bigger than the one that his opponent has. And again, didn't stop it with Threatening Roar.
Yeah, so, well, he really needs something. He drew into another copy of Vanity's Emptiness according to our app. And, well, fortunately for him...
there is
no, it's a Fiendish
Chain. Now, I'm a bit confused about why he wouldn't try activating the Vanities when Downward Magician was about to come out. But I guess it was already happening.
Yeah. So you would have to telegraph or know that the Downward Magician was about to come out.
So there's a nice Minecraft. There's another Vanity's Emptiness in hand.
You mean a Mind Crush?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Valens' hand.
Foolish Burial really not helping right now.
No, not exactly with that Macrocosmos active. And the game has come to a screeching halt. And interestingly enough, Michal is suddenly loading up on Yosenjus. And you pointed out something, if they can all come down in one turn. Although he cannot attack over the Downward Magician at this point.
That's kind of the biggest problem. What he really needs to draw into is the Yosenju Suchik, which will give him an extra 1,000 attack. So he can attack over the Downward Magician. Although... No, he's going to be protected by the Vanity's Emptiness as well. I was just looking at Mask Change 2.
What do you think about those Threatening Roars? Are you a fan of the card?
Threatening Roar's a very old card. It's still a good card. I mean, it's not something that sees a lot of play because there are other cards that do the job that also give you other abilities. So
let's check what Valens against these Yosenjus hitting play here. Doesn't really have anything in his back row. Raigeki Break, I guess.
Yosenju Camel 1 can actually return a card from on the field back to hand. So Downward Magician's going to go back to the extra deck.
What about that Mask Change 2?
Mask Change 2, the monster has to have a level.
Yeah, no, I mean, generally speaking, what do you think about the
card?
card?
Is a fantastic card.
Okay.
Like, it just gives you so much more utility. I mean, what Burning Abyss kind of lacked was the ability to be able to kind of go, well, okay, well, I've got a little bit of a bigger monster than you, but sometimes you just didn't. With that, you're now able to bring out quite a lot of different cards.
Yep. So those two Exceed materials of the Downward Magician go to the graveyard thanks to a chained Raigeki Break that destroys the Macrocosmos. And that is some good news for Valens. However, the Vanity's Emptiness is stopping the effect of his Seer that was sent to the graveyard, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. Also, Graph would have gone to the graveyard as well.
Yeah.
He is going to be able to just attack, although he's just checking there what the order would be.
All right, so we can see here a lot of cards that help Valens to respond to his opponent's moves, but very few cards that help him act, really. Although he now has all the Mana Branch he needs in his hand, and with Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss, he finally has a good way to get rid of a couple of cards on Michal's side of the field, if he gets to see another turn, which is definitely the case with 9,000 life points.
The biggest issue with that is he needs to be able to summon 2 cards. And under a Vanity's Emptiness, that is not easy.
Oh, yes. And he can also not attack over one of the Yosenjus.
Yep. Now, I do also believe that Vanity's Emptiness shouldn't be there anymore. Oh, I know, because he changed it in time, so, yeah. It would have resolved backwards, meaning that Vanity's Emptiness would have been one of the last things to chain. So Macrocosmos going to the graveyard wouldn't actually have stopped it.
Yeah, that was in a new chain after those materials ended up in the graveyard.
Now, Yosenju Kama 3, when it attacks directly, or when any Yosenju card deals damage, is going to let him search for another Yosenju card.
It's a little bit like this Cobra of the... What was the name? This one archetype that can completely lock down an opponent with the Cobra. I can't come up with a name right now.
Okay.
The What monsters.
The What? Oh, yes.
Yes.
The What archetype, yeah. Now, they're just checking whether Kama 3 can still return to the hand when it's banished because of the wording on the card. I always thought it would have been from the field.
Right. So there's some confusion on the table, but fortunately we do have a table judge that can sort out these difficulties in no time, I think. In the meantime, let's take another look at Michal's hand. He's got 2 Karmas, a number 1 and a Karma 3. Another Threatening Roar, another Tenki, Mystical Space Typhoon. Seems like a solid hand, I think.
It's very good. I mean, it sounds bad, but this looks like how the Yosenju deck we saw earlier should have played.
Yeah, but it wasn't going up against Burning Abyss.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what Valens has here. He's got the Foolish Burial. And he definitely needs to get rid of that Vanity's Emptiness.
Okay, he's put a Mathematician into his graveyard.
Yeah, normally it's the other way around. That Mathematician is sending something to the graveyard. And now he's forced to only set a card. Yeah, it's definitely not good news for him. With, well, the Fire Lake, he needs 2 monsters for that. And
Mind Crush. Probably getting rid of Yosenju Kama 3 there.
Yeah, and also he's got a chance to...
Oh, no. Oh, yes, of course, if he gets rid of one, Yosenju Kama 3 can't.
Yeah, but the thing is, he should get rid of both Karma 1 with the Mind Crush.
Yep, and he has.
So that's really good. Stopping the Yosenju deck from putting more than 1 monster on the field at the same time. And that Skarm is actually standing its ground in battle.
Yeah,
so
it has quite actually a large defense.
Yeah. So suddenly, with 2000 def, suddenly Valens did find a way to put 2 monsters on the field. And that is extremely good news for him. With those Fire Lakes in the back row.
Now, if he has a Burning Abyss, yep, he does. He can actually activate the Fire Lake.
Yes. And he attacks with them one after another. It's also something we don't see every day, to be honest. But, I mean, of course, with the restriction of Vanity's Emptiness in play, makes perfect sense. Normally, you always see Dante immediately hitting play. So those were 2,100 points of damage for Michal, who is, according to our app, on 4,500. I think he's even a little bit lower. There we go.
Yep, 2,400.
2,400, yeah. And that is the back row. And now we might be seeing, anytime now, the Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss. Let's bring that card up for you guys.
So Kama 3 comes down. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any way to do anything. So, yep, here comes the Fire Lake.
Yep.
Or maybe not.
Here we go.
If he sends those 2, he can get rid of Vanity's Emptiness and the 2 face-down cards, because the Tenki and the Fiendish Chain aren't doing anything for him.
Yeah, exactly. So this is an amazing trade for Valens, who, he loses 3 cards, but the effects of his Burning Abyss monsters are going to trigger in the graveyard, which means he's not losing much, really.
Yeah.
Whereas his opponent is losing 4 cards.
Oh, and there's another Tenki.
Yeah,
but the normal summon has already happened for the turn.
Yeah, so...
Although, no, he can now normal summon again.
Oh, it doesn't happen...
Yeah, it doesn't happen immediately.
It doesn't need to happen immediately. All right. So, Michal not quite done yet. Yeah, no, it says if you can immediately after this effect resolves normal summon.
Okay.
So, well, the flood has been stopped in a way with that Fire Lake. very well-timed Fire Lake. And Michal now has got a Mystical Space Typhoon and a Mirror Force face down, so he does have some sort of defense, but it's not looking great, to be honest. And there we see not a Scarab, a Gruff hitting play.
That's right, although Mass Change 2 can turn that straight into a Dark Claw.
Yeah, and Valens, this is his hand. The Vanity's Emptiness, Mask Change 2, and Raigeki Break.
And even stopping the attack with Mirror Force doesn't stop it.
There's an MST, and it hits a Raigeki Break. Not exactly the best target here.
Yosenju Kama 3. We'll bring out Yosenju Sujik, which is going to give something an extra 1,000 attack itself.
It's quite interesting, like, I was totally expecting Valens to follow it up and go for the Burning Abyss special summons and Dante and all that fun stuff.
And there's the Mass Change 2, discarding Vanity's Emptiness, which is going to turn that into a Dark Claw. This came out in the Hero Strike structure deck.
It's the reason why heroes are viable again.
Yeah.
And it's
Mass Change 2 is an immense card. Bring it up on.
Yep, let's try it again. There we go.
Basically,
There's an attack into Mirror Force.
Just show you Dark Claw as well.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, he's picked up.
Yeah, well, he knows that there's going to be another attack incoming from the Yosenju monsters with Kama 3 and the Tsuchik. Although, I kind of have to say, it was surprising that this game was suddenly over here. We thought that the Burning Abyss, that Valens had the perfect comeback with the Fire Lake, but he totally failed to find a way to, again, put two monsters on the field at the same time.
Yeah. Now, let's just see. So it banishes opponent's cards, which is nasty.
And if they add a card from
so
the hand,
if you would have the search from,
then you can banish one
3.
random card from the hand. Yeah, it definitely interferes a lot with all of those searches that we see at the moment, thanks to cards like, well, Brionac mostly.
Yeah.
And
Brionac
of course,
plus Solus.
yeah, Manu of the 10,000 hands, Senju of the 10,000 hands. Everything that has a lot of hands, really.
Yeah. Or masks.
Yeah, so Valens, yeah, all he would have needed was a tour guide or any other Burning Abyss monster.
Yeah, would have been absolutely
and
fine.
he would have been in a perfect position to turn this game around and win it. But as it turned out, Michal just continuously attacking with those, well, not exactly small Yosenju monsters, but...
Yeah, they actually get quite big after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did get the job done here. So, good news for Michal. For
Now,
Poland. Just one more victory and he would be in day 2.
now
Which is of course true for, well, Valens needs 2 more victories, but both of these players just need the win in this round to make it to day 2.
yeah, and of course this is the last round, so they really need it. Now, side decking wise, let's see. Mistake could see play on Valens' side. Effect Veiler to stop the normal summons.
Yeah.
Torrential Tribute as well.
Torrential Tribute is very good against a deck that tries to flood the field like that.
And the 2 Twisters and 3 Mystical Space Typhoons probably going to see play right now. Now, over on Michal's side, did I say that right again?
Michal.
Michal, okay. He has got Flying Sea, which would be nice because there is a lot of special summoning there.
Actually good against the Burning Abyss. I think it's almost like the best card against, or one of the best cards against Burning Abyss.
Mistake is going to stop Scarm searches.
Sure.
Necro Rally is going to stop Seer.
Yeah, Trapstun is really good against all of those back row cards, of course.
Yeah.
So he's got a side deck that is very, very prepared for Burning Abyss, really. I would almost say more so than any other deck.
Yeah, there are a few cards in there that are really helping him. There is only 2 cards that Necro Rally really stops, as far as I can see. Which is going to be Dante, which is the big one, and Seer.
All right, so we're ready for the second game, which might be the last game for the day. You guys are in for a treat. We organized something prior to the round. We want to talk to Jake Quincy, who is undefeated at this point in time. We don't know exactly if he's going to be undefeated at the end of the day, but we thought he's putting up so many good finishes.
Yeah.
It would be making perfect sense to talk to him.
Now,
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're still in that round 7 with Michal's hand coming in first. We have 2 Yosenju monsters, Karma 1, Karma 3.
Pot of Duality, adding another one there.
Yeah, and he starts with Pot of Duality.
There's the Flying Sea, Dimensional Fissure.
Yep.
We're probably going to see that straight away. Although there's the Twister, which will get rid of the Dimensional Fissure.
Yeah, that's the hand of Valens.
Effect Veiler.
Yeah, so we see a couple of cards from the side decks. Michal's hand was, the last card was a Mystical Space Typhoon, the one that we were missing. So he passes play with Fissure, Dimensional Fissure and Mystical Space Typhoon on the field.
A special summon's happened, so here comes the Flying Sea.
Yeah, and that's really going to interfere with the plans of the Burning Abyss deck, resulting in Burning Abyss monsters immediately ending up in the
Destroyed,
graveyard.
yeah. So
thanks to their own effects.
So Farfa is going to the graveyard. And because he just special summoned it as well, it won't get its effect.
All of that, such a good opening for Michal. I mean, it looks like Valens has a good hand. I mean, he can chain the Twister still.
Although I don't believe that's actually really going to help him at this point. Because as we say, Farfa will not get its effect. As it was special summoned this turn.
Right.
Twister is that you can destroy one of your spell attack cards and destroy one of your opponents as well. Of course, you can target Twister with its own effect.
Yeah, what's going to be the next move for Valens here?
Interestingly, probably set to
The Mirror Force?
possibly set a monster and then end. Okay.
There's a Scam.
The Flying Sea was just banished there.
For the effect of the Far.
Yes,
And
which
returns and
actually
destroys the Scam.
noticing that couldn't have actually activated its effect this turn because it was special summoned, but using its effect. Scam's going to give it self-search as well.
Oh, so there's a... You just indicated there was a misplay, in fact, because of only one effect of the Burning Abyss could be activated in the same turn. So, well, a lot to keep track of, and it seems like our judge is also a little bit tired at the end of the day.
He has been on his feet all day. Stood just out of camera shot.
Yeah, and that changes quite a few things, actually.
Not necessarily, because if he would have set the Scam anyway, he would have been he would have been attacked face down this turn, and probably would have been destroyed anyway.
Yeah. So Michal now empties his hand with all of those cards, and
Okay, and he's just attacked the Flying Sea.
yeah, that's also interesting that Valens simply lets the attack resolve, and then
now
for
he
the possible
has
second attack, he
a Mirror Force.
activates the Mirror Force, and
That's unfortunate.
that really hurts. So suddenly Michal left with just the Mystical Space Typhoon and the Fire Formation. That's not going to do much without a monster. Forced to pass, and now the Burning Abyss deck can go nuts with that Tour Guide opening.
And there is a Fairy Wind as well. Oh no, he had Flying Sea in his hand. I
Oh.
did not see him draw that, but Was probably just missed. Oh no, he returned it to his hand. Of course, he's playing Yosenju. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Did he attack?
I think he attacks, dropping life points 1,000 at a time. And Michal just drew into a Raigeki and immediately passed play again.
Oh no, he's going to attack with the flying C.
Yeah, but that's the following turn. So this is Michal's hand at the moment. He just passes with Raigeki rather than wasting it, so to speak. But then again, he desperately needs something.
If he drops it, then C is still going to activate.
Yeah, now he's forced to activate the Raigeki.
Oh, he has a Suchik in hand, but Skarm's coming down. And Suchik can only make itself 2,000 attack. Although it will be on 2,100 because of Tenki. I'm not sure if he's noticed that, however.
So he takes 800, I think.
It has a low attack. Yeah, 800. And if Burning Abyss could run... oh, I know. I can see exactly where this is going to go. There is a nice effect veil that's going to stop that effect. Oh, he's going to let it happen. So he's going to attack to the Skarm. What have we got set face down?
It's a Mystical Space Typhoon. Oh, you mean on Valens' side?
Yeah. Now he's definitely just wanting to go and get himself a nice... Oh. If you look at the fields, you can see how this will go. There is a Fiendish Chain, which is going to attempt to stop the Tour Guide, which is about to happen. Unfortunately, a Fairy Wind is going to be activated, destroying both the Fiendish Chain and the Tenki.
Ah, yeah, that's going to hurt Michal. There is the Fiendish Chain. And
there's the Fairy Wind.
There's the Fairy Wind. And that should be
that's
game.
The game.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. That is game for Valens. So he...
Well prepared.
Yes. Ties the score.
Yeah, this
so
is where
it's now
really matters.
1-1. Yes, and this is it. The last game for the day between those two guys. And the winner is going to be in day 2. The loser is going to be out of the tournament. And again, they are going to side deck. It seems like they haven't found the perfect build for that particular matchup. So do you think there was something introduced from the side deck that is not making much sense here? I mean, the Flying Sea was really proving that it can mess with the Mana Branch of the Burning Abyss.
Yeah, it really does. It's essentially the fact that even if it's summoned through a Tour Guide as well, you can't XE summon. No, he's made the correct choices. I think he's thinking about quantities now more than anything. Just try and get some sort of balance back into the deck so he feels like, you know, it's going to be a bit more consistent for him. Because he was missing a few of the cards which really would have helped him out in that game.
So it's the second time today that we see this anti-build with the Yosenju archetype. Are you more of a fan now than you were before?
It works. It does actually work. The issue is I feel it has... There are potential threats to it when you just get rid of certain cards. If you get rid of the Yosenju cards, you have no way of dealing damage. And there is no way to really recurse them from the graveyard either. So what we saw there was dropping everything and then a Mirror Force taking out all of the monsters, and suddenly he just lost. Right, and Michael having a good chat there?
Yeah, those two are having a great time today. They seem to like their job quite a bit.
Yes, they do.
Well, what I can do in the meantime, guys, is run you through the standings, which you can also, well, the pairings, I mean, but the standings you can also find on our written coverage. There's a link below on both the Twitch page as well as on the official website in case you're watching it there. We got Sasha Fabian, also 15 points. Another guy who tests a lot with Alpay Engin and those guys, this group of players. Also not running Necros as far as I'm aware. And Themistoklis Gyktsis from Greece is also doing well once again. These guys always put up great results, these Greek guys. And then we've got Patrick Rieder, Marcel Burri, and Sona Günger. Some more players at the top of the field, together with Eugen Heid, a former European champion, reigning European national champion, in fact. European national champion. My God. European continental champion. And yeah, that's it. And, well, that's not quite it, actually. We got more guys like, for example, Norman Wilde, who is playing Telenites, and he's also sitting on a good record with 13 points. It's 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss.
So a lot of people that we were expecting to see up there have really pulled it out, and they're up there again.
Yes. So the air is very thin at the top of the field, which is not that surprising, especially at these slightly larger events. I mean, 608 players is great, but it's still a big difference when you compare it to 1,400 players in Milan, for example, where you have a much higher chance to go up against somebody who's just been picking up the game 3 months ago. Here at these events, since 100 of the players that are attending are always going to be the same guys.
Yeah.
Like Jay Quincy, Alpay Engin, Pironaski, and so on and so on. The less players there are, the harder it is to get to the top, in my opinion.
Michal having a bit of a... Well, it's not a terrible first turn play, but...
With just the Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah, but he is going to be able to summon Yosenju Kama 1, then Yosenju Kama 3, then Yosenju Kama 2, and then Yosenju Kama 3.
So if Valens, for whatever reason, just tries to play it slow, if it would be just pass play, this game would be over. Unfortunately for all you Polish fans out there, that's not what's going to happen. There's a Skarm hitting play.
It's going to attack because he realizes that's probably a Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah.
And Graf could special summon at this point. There would be no issue with that, but he might be trying to keep a Graf in hand just for the Raigeki break, and it looks like that is the case. Yeah,
there's all the defense that you need if you're a Burning Abyss player with those back row cards that can really interfere with your opponent's plans.
Kama 3.
Kama 3. And now the question is, does he... I mean, he doesn't want to really activate a Raigeki break because the effect will still resolve anyway.
Yes. As far as I'm aware. Because it wouldn't be immediately.
There is a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast.
Okay, that's stopping a search. And Graf just went to the graveyard. So, is he going to... Yep, there's the Vanity Emptiness in response.
And that might cause the Raigeki break.
There is also a Flying Sea in the hand there.
Yeah.
Raigeki break is gone.
Oh yeah, good draw, the Flying Sea. Can you only use that effect in your opponent's turn?
Yeah, but this doesn't really matter. No. The reason why he's doing it is... Well, there's going to be a Skarm effect, and Seer can happen, but Graf would just go back to the graveyard.
Yeah, but I mean that Flying Sea, again, really... When your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step. That was not the case, so yes.
Yep.
And again, interfering a lot with the Burning Abyss strategy.
Now, he was setting himself up there for the Fire Lake.
Yeah, and that Fire Lake is far out of reach suddenly with just that Flying Sea. But still, I'm left wondering a little bit why there was no other normal summon.
Okay, he didn't do anything with that.
Yeah, he just passed play.
Yeah, he's got the Kama 1, 2, and 3 in hand. I think he wants to wait until the perfect moment to be able to do something with it.
Yeah. Now he takes a bit of damage thanks to those 3 attackers. Flying Sea, Tour Guide, and Seer.
Now he's... Valens is really understanding that it's a case of chipping away. Do all of the damage you possibly can.
Yeah. And as you can see, the other card, the one face-down card, is the Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss that is not active at this point in time.
Now there's the Cam 1, 2, 3, and 3.
Yeah, so now it's time to go big or go home for Michal.
Yes.
And I think he feels confident that he can go big here. Is he going to leave the Flying Sea, or is he going to attack with everything and completely clear the field.
He can actually just return it straight back to his hand.
Again, yeah,
Yeah.
with those Kama, yes.
And then Kama 3 comes out. So Kama 2, Kama 3, Kama 1, Kama 3. And he can summon his entire hand
This is
in this turn.
an excellent deck if you're trying to teach your son how to count, I think.
Yes. Although I feel like he looks like he's actually going to go for an Exi summon. I think he understands that that could be a Mirror Force again. So there's the Lightning Chidori.
Ah, yes, you mentioned that when we talked about that deck earlier, that it's one of the few archetypes that can make use of this powerful monster.
Just get rid of
That
any
set card. Yeah.
Put it on the bottom of the deck, so it's even more
The
damaging.
Fire Lake is gone.
It has 1900 attack.
But
So it's going to take out the Seer. Seer's effect can still activate.
but the monster is
Will be destroyed
immediately.
So it's going to go for Skarm. Skarm goes. Skarm at the end of the turn is going to get... He's going to net him another tour guide.
So why didn't he normal summon the other two Karmas?
He wanted to get rid of the back row. Understanding that it could possibly very well have been a Mirror Force again.
Yeah, but does he have to attack to return something to the hand? Or I mean, he can
No,
just normal
when it
summon
comes
them
out,
all.
he could return the Flying Sea back to hand. He could have just normal summoned the 1 and the 3
Yeah.
and done that.
All right, so the other effect of Lightning Chidori kicked in? Is that correct? No, that's
Yep, you detach
Yes.
to target 1 and put it on the top
top of the deck. Yeah.
Now, he did that with the tour guide, but that's fine because he's about to search for a tour guide. Basically, you just gave him a target if he didn't have one.
Well, but that's very unlikely.
Now, that's a 1900 attack.
You should be a motivational coach for players that are going up against somebody who is giving them bad beats. Then, hey, you just found the target in your deck thanks to that Lightning
Yeah.
Chidori.
Definitely. It's fine. It's fine. Every card's situational. Pot of Greed's situational. You need cards in your deck, so, you know, you got that going for you.
Yes. All right,
There's
so
a mathematician. It's just been out of hand.
Farfa.
Farfa.
and a tour guide.
Farfa would just straight up banish that Lightning Chidori and then possibly be able to attack for game.
So
So he can special summon it as well. So, yeah, it actually looks like it could be the game for Burning Abyss here, because if he special summons... If he special summons the Farfa, he can't actually use the effect anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, just made the same mistake that was made earlier.
Yeah. But still,
Here comes a Dante in defense. Interesting. I thought he would avoid out in attack, seeing as it would have...
2-5. Yeah.
Okay, that
We are
is
now in the timeout. We've just been told by our judges that Lightning Chidori 1,900 attacks. So
Skarm. Oh, actually, sorry. Is that not a Libic? It doesn't look like a Skarm from here. Not too sure. They are in time at the moment. That's what the judge is trying to tell us.
yeah, it's just a little bit harder to hear when you got a headset on. But yeah, we appreciate the effort. So why not attack over the Lightning Chidori? What is stopping you?
It's a good question. One that I do not have the answer to.
Okay.
Basically, I mean, looking at, there's no reason not to. It's depends what he's really thinking here. He
Yeah.
has the ability to possibly bring out a Rockstar of the Burning Abyss, but then Virgil doesn't have anything to discard. He actually probably, if putting it in attack, could have won this turn.
Interesting observation here. The
Because he would have been able to do that, then just overlay, make another Dante, 2 Dantes on the field, both at 2,500 attack, attack over the Chidori, attack for game.
yeah.
Nearly game. Although would it?
Are we missing
Math.
anything? I mean,
No, it would
Chidori
just be
doesn't
on.
have any other special effects. It's good enough as it stands.
Chidori is going to return one of those to the top of the deck.
Yeah, but not in the opponent's turn.
No, but if he doesn't summon something that can attack over that,
Yeah.
he's
Yes.
losing it.
So interesting. Valens has all the options, it seems to us. We're just not sure if he's making the greatest use of them.
2 Dantes is the correct choice in this situation. Drop a card from underneath it. Get your sear effect. Yeah, that would have been attack for game. Has he already attacked this turn?
No, no, he hasn't attacked.
Oh, has he? No, because
he's still
he attacked the flying C.
Yeah,
That's why he's doing it in defense.
why
Sorry.
is
Main phase 2,
main
there
phase
goes
2.
the down of Magician. But it doesn't really matter because it still can be targeted.
Yeah, very interesting. So you give your opponent another activation for the Lightning Chidori. Well, but he can at least chain the mech-equipped engineer to save his monster. But, well,
It doesn't... is it unaffected by effects? Oh, I thought it was just that it couldn't be destroyed.
couldn't be destroyed.
Okay. Oh. Again, that's... he's banished that, discarding... I believe that special summoned itself this turn.
He's getting rid of the materials, at least, for Lightning Chidori. So, interesting play, but still not convinced it was the best line of plays. Giving the Yosenju player another turn to do something, really.
Does he run more than one Lightning Chidori is the question. No, he doesn't, so he can't bring out another Lightning Chidori at least.
Michal found a Mirror Force. His deck provided him with that card. That is definitely going to come in useful, I think. Unless Valens would go, for example, as we've seen before in the second game, for Alucard. Or was it the first game, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first game he went for the Alucard there.
So there is the Karma Flood again.
Camera 1 and Camera 3. Camera 1 can return something to the hand, I believe. At this point.
Yes. If you control another face up, you'll send your monster, which is, of course, the case. So very good. Extremely good against mech-equipped engineer. Because you're not destroying it, you're just returning it to the hand. And yeah, this is really interesting how this game plays out, because we definitely did not expect that.
Okay. That then goes, and then he can banish the Lightning Chidori, at least to Camera 1. Meaning that Camera 1
cannot activate its effect.
I don't know whether no, because it would have been special summoned. I'm a little confused on the ruling there, whether it would still return to hand or not.
Oh, I think he never had a chance to activate the effect. That immediately after the normal summon happened, and since priority as it used to exist doesn't exist in the game anymore, Valens was immediately going for the effect of mech-equipped engineer to return it, to banish it until the end of the turn and deny its effect.
Okay, so yeah, Camera 1 does not return. He now has a Seer in hand that he can special summon.
Yep, and a tour guide and a mathematician, and he just drew into a fourth card.
And he's just got a Twister.
Yeah, so all of that
could definitely win this turn.
Well, we've seen that one before.
Yeah, the problem was that I was saying it wrong. He'd already attacked with the Flying Sea to get rid of it, so that he could actually play his XE monsters. So here we go, because Camera 1 has to stay on the field. So he could be a Dante, depending on whether he decides to make the Dante and use the
so
Twister.
There's the graph, the mana range of the Burning Abyss. And let's see, second attempt for Valens, second match point. This feels a lot like a tennis match, with some unforced errors. So he's going through the options in his side extra deck. Yeah. Let's see. I might be wrong, but he's not a big fan of Dante, is he?
No, it doesn't seem that way. I'm not quite sure why he didn't just activate.
The Ghost Trick Alucard.
He has a Twister in hand.
That's interesting.
I'm... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a little bit at a loss for words, which doesn't happen that often, to be honest. He wants to turn this into a grind and have a little bit more fun while the game lasts.
I mean, the Downer Magicians are huge, so that,
Yeah.
that kind of does help. But he's got rid of the Camel 1.
But yeah, as you pointed out, the Twister. Why not
Why not just try
use the
and push
Twister
it?
and exactly push it? Because I heard attacking wins games.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Thanks for the insight, Ollie. Necrovalley is going to make things sad for Sia. Just trying to remember what Necrovalley does.
Necrovalley stops
yeah.
everything that targets the graveyard from outside the graveyard. This is like the short version.
Yeah. Well, it stops things inside the graveyard as long as it's not unlong. It's cards can only be moved by their own effect in the graveyard.
Yeah. And there we have the handshake finally. It appeared a little bit like Michal had to extend the hand for this game to end.
Yeah.
Because Valens didn't like attacking too much.
Want it to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did go on for a long time.
Yeah, that was a very interesting game, and yeah, we weren't able to telegraph some of these plays here.
Yeah, I mean it could have made a big splash, but
yeah. So that concludes the last round for today.
Yeah.
And what a round it's been. I didn't see that coming.
No, it sees definitely Burning Abyss going through to day 2. I actually went to go and look for a Burning Abyss deck because I wanted to see how it was faring up against Necros or Yosenju or anything like that. I found that a lot of them were sitting on around 6 and 8 points. This was the only one that I could find that was coming through to day 2 at the time. There could be others, but this was the first one that I could find.
Very interesting. I mean, in the end,